Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. I am so happy and grateful to be recording this episode for you today. I have definitely taken quite a break from the podcast this past year. Those of you who might not have been following along on Instagram at Zoe Ariel, I have actually been fully nomadic this year. So I've been traveling quite a bit, just ticking off all those beautiful dreams off my bucket list. And I've come to this season where I feel like I've learned and integrated quite a bit from traveling this past year, and I'm ready to share some of those lessons and get back to speaking to you guys on a regular basis because I just love to share all about the journey of life, as you know. And today I specifically feel called to talk about being in a place where you feel disempowered and how to get to that place of empowerment. So this was actually inspired by someone who reached out to me this morning around one-to-one life coaching. And this person had expressed that they've tried many different things. They've tried therapy, they've tried all different courses and programs, and they haven't been able to get to this place where they feel empowered or they feel that long-term change is possible for them. And I myself have been at this place in different areas of life, and it reminded me of this one season of my life where I would say that I was at my most rock bottom point. That's where I found myself anyways. Some of you might know my story, but I'm just going to speak into it briefly just to give some context of it. So this was about, I don't know, maybe like 8-9 years ago now. I'm not going to do the math in my head at this moment, but it was closer to a decade ago. And I had just finally broken out of an abusive relationship. And I found myself living on the other side of the country in Canada, living in Toronto. My family's from the West Coast, Vancouver Island, and that's where all my close friends were. I found myself having left this relationship, not having the people who I felt the safest and closest to around me, and not to mention that I also felt like I couldn't even open up to anyone about what I had just been through because I felt a lot of shame around it. I also had PTSD following this relationship. This individual that I was in a relationship with, we ended up actually having a court case that also created a lot of anxiety for me. I just lived in a perpetual state of anxiety the whole time during this relationship, and then afterwards. It's been a journey of really going deep and undoing that through the years. But also I didn't have any money because this person was addicted to gambling and actually maxed out my credit cards playing online poker and stole my savings. So that's why actually the relationship ended, was because as soon as he took my savings, I was like, that I'm out. I have to leave this. For any of you who have ever been in an abusive relationship, my heart goes out to you. It's such a challenging situation. I'm not going to dedicate the podcast into speaking about this at this point in time, but I do have content around it on my YouTube channel or in my book, Beauty and the Breakdown. But it's a lot to overcome in ways because there is this definite feeling of being trapped. And as I'm speaking into this episode about coming out of disempowerment into empowerment, oftentimes in our life when we find ourselves in some category of life, if not at a rock bottom, the feeling of disempowerment feels like we're trapped. And that could be in your career, that could be financially, that could be in a relationship. But circling back to the context of this rock bottom is I actually didn't have a home. So I was living with my friend's fiance's mother because she had a spare room in her basement. So I really had to navigate things all at once. That's what it felt like. It kind of felt as if this was a season where everything in my life just came crumbling down. And I realized that all I had was myself, that nobody was coming to save me, and I had to save myself. It wasn't too long until I found a townhouse to move into downtown Toronto that I could afford a room in. It was a 4-bedroom townhouse, and I shared it with strangers. So that was like a big step out of my comfort zone, but it ended up being absolutely perfect for me to have my own space again, to be able to discover myself again, and to also just have a new surrounding neighborhood that I could walk around in. And I really spent that next year rebuilding myself from the ground up. It was just after a month of moving into this place that I ended up losing my full-time job and I had to apply for a new job. Luckily, I ended up getting a new job within a couple of weeks of losing that other job. So basically, I was just in turbulent times. And I share that context just to say, like, I really know what it feels like to feel hopeless, to feel like you don't know what the next step is. And I'm sharing this today as well because I presently have a promotion on my one-to-one life coaching program that is $1,500 off. And I did this promotion last year as well, and it was a really great opportunity for a new flow of souls to enter into my program because it is the most accessible and the most affordable. And I just plant that seed here, right now, if this is the message that you need to hear today of what is my next step, and perhaps it is taking a one-on-one journey deep within. I'm certified through IPEC, the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching, and I specialize in transition coaching. So that is people moving through different depthy life changes, whether that's leaving your job, becoming an entrepreneur, really changing things financially for yourself, or just, in any area of life, really. But coming back to this feeling of disempowerment, it's really powerful to recognize where in our lives we feel hopeless or disempowered, because as soon as we bring awareness to that, we can actually then create conscious choice. And when we activate conscious choice as human beings, that's when we feel the most free. As in, a lot of times we feel trapped because we don't feel like we have a choice. And when we don't feel like we have a choice, we don't feel free. And as human beings, we feel our best when we feel that we do have freedom. So in this place of, let's say, rock bottom or disempowerment, we have a lot of energy there, right? It may feel like victim energy. It may feel like sadness, disappointment, frustration, anger. Like whatever those emotions are for you, as however uncomfortable they are, remember that emotions are energy. And energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transformed and transmuted. So if you find yourself looking at an area of your life or just looking around at your life in general and being like, there's a lot of energy that I'm ready to transmute here, that is when we can really activate next level potentials. And in my personal story, I went from being completely like disempowered, scared, so full of shame, like so full of anxiety and PTSD. Like when I say PTSD, I mean if somebody was next to me in the grocery store, I remember being at a Metro on Bloor Street and somebody in the grocery store reached up for a can beside me and I like shuddered. Like I had this response in my body where I thought that I was about to be hit or something. And I remember just this moment of just really recognizing like I need help. I really need to nurture myself and take care of myself. And there's steps and ways. It was a lengthy journey for me. It has been. There's been a multiple different levels and layers of healing after that abusive relationship and that chapter in my life. But again, what I'm speaking to here is I know what it feels like to just really know that a change needs to be made and being ready and willing to do whatever it takes. So back to, again, this feeling of disempowerment. Like I said, it's wherever we can recognize that when we can start to remove ourselves from, let's say, swimming around in those emotions and become the gentle observer from them, we can see that there is potential here. I know in my life when I've created the biggest change, like I did after this chapter, it was because I looked around at my life and I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of not feeling like I have a choice. I'm sick and tired of feeling like a victim to my reality. I'm sick and tired of attracting toxic relationship dynamics into my life. I'm sick and tired of being in debt and not having money. I'm sick and tired of working for someone like across the board. I was sick and tired. I was exhausted. I was just not where I knew that I could be. And speaking into this today, again, I want to really drive home the message that you can create change. And I hope that this message is the one that you need to hear today, of no matter where you find yourself in life, if you're feeling like this situation sucks, I'm feeling helpless here, I feel like I need help, shining a light on that and starting to open up your heart, offering yourself self-love and compassion. We all go through different chapters in life. Some of them are rock bottom, some of them have dips and turns, some of them are full of unexpected situations and outcomes. It's just part of the journey of life. But the sooner that we can illuminate that and become the gentle observer of it and start to bring in the energy of love in places where we have felt frustration, anger, turmoil, suffering, that's when we create the change. That's when we start to move things forward. And it doesn't matter where you're at in life. Change is inevitable, meaning that change will always happen. Nothing is permanent. So whatever area it is of your life right now that you're not feeling satisfied in, know that there is always a possibility for change and transformation. And often it's a lot faster than you think. If you would have told little Zoe, who was shuddering in the Metro store on Bloor, that within the next year you will be living in Rome, Italy, and you will be on this journey of becoming an entrepreneur and it's going to work out for you, I would have been I would have, of course, not known the how. How would that actually happen? I would never know the how. That's the universe's job. But I would be so thrilled inside. It would have activated this next level of light in me. I activated that light eventually as I made that happen for myself. But whatever your dream is, know that that's inevitable. That was placed on your heart for you to walk out, and it doesn't matter what the reality around you looks like now. As soon as you can decide that I'm done with feeling sick and tired and I'm ready to change, and I'm no longer committing to feeling like a victim to circumstance, instead I'm going to decide that I'm the creator of my reality, big change can happen quickly. Like, that was a literal miracle for me, moving to Rome, Italy, after that whole chapter. I remember lying on my bedroom floor crying when I lost my job because I had no idea what I was supposed to do. I was in all this debt. I was living in one of the most expensive city in Canada, perhaps. And I felt like a failure at everything. I felt like I had just done everything wrong. There was so much shame there. But somehow I just realized, like, there's nowhere to go but up from here. So I'm going to decide that this is where everything changes. And inviting love in, like I had mentioned, inviting compassion in, and deciding to be your own best friend and holding yourself accountable to transformation, that's where this all begins. So with that, I hope this was the message that you needed to hear today. Know that big change is possible quickly. Quantum leaps are available every single day. Miracles happen every single day. It's a miracle that we all opened our eyes this morning for another beautiful day of life on earth. But know that big change can happen quickly. I've seen it multiple times in my life, multiple times in clients' lives. And with that, if you do feel the call to one-on-one life coaching with me, like I mentioned, I'm having my grand promotion on right now, and this is for a 3-month container with me. So the rate that is at presently with the promotion is $3,000, and I'm open to payment plans that are up to 12 months long. So that means that you can enter into container one-on-one with me for as little as $250 per month. So if you're feeling the call, I would absolutely love to work with you. We can design a payment plan and a schedule that aligns with you, aligns with your life and your goals. And know that I believe in you, and know that anything is possible. Sending you so much love today and always. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.